361 for pre-need to at-need funeral services, funerals, burials, or cremations. It is Community Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. In obituary news this morning, Colton Maui Duncan, age 6, died on Sunday. Visitation for Maui will be today, 10:30 a.m. until noon at Rockford Baptist Church in downtown Rockford. That will be followed by a funeral service at noon from Rockford Baptist Church, Brother Dr. Jeff Fuller officiating. Burial in the Rockford City Cemetery. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel directing. Reethy Gable, age 85, of Childersburg, died July the 19th. Visitation is today, 5 until 8 o'clock at Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Childersburg Chapel. Funeral service will take place on Saturday at 1 p.m. from the Childersburg Chapel of Curtis and Son Funeral Home, with Pastor Terry Wilkerson officiating. Burial in the Winterboro Baptist Church Cemetery. Online condolences at Curtis and Son FH, Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Childersburg Chapel, directing that service. Melanie Cullens Thornton, age 58, died July the 9th. A memorial service will be held Thursday, July 28th at 10 a.m. from the chapel of Radley Smith Funeral Home, Radley Smith Funeral Home in Sylacauga, in charge of the arrangements. Funeral service for Mary Frances Connell, age 88, of Childersburg, is today at 11 a.m. from First Baptist Church of Childersburg, with Brother David Porch officiating. Burial in the Green Hill Memorial Gardens of Childersburg. Mrs. Connell died July the 19th at her residence. Visitation is today, 10 until 11 o'clock at First Baptist Church of Childersburg, Radley Smith Funeral Home in Sylacauga, in charge of the arrangements. In other obituary news this morning, there will be a memorial service for Ronald Castleberry. And that service will be July the 24th at 2 p.m. And that will be at the Green Hill Cemetery, graveside service at Green Hill Cemetery in Childersburg. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Childersburg Chapel, in charge of the arrangements. Other obituary notes this morning: Mr. Chuck Messer Jr. Died this week in Sampson, Alabama. Visitation is today, 1 until 2, at the Childersburg Chapel of Curtis and Son Funeral Home, with the service at 2 from the Childersburg Chapel, Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Childersburg Chapel, in charge of the arrangements. Miss Bessie M. Capers, age 95, died July the 14th. Graveside service Saturday at 11 a.m. from Lily Roden Cemetery of Childersburg. Lewis Brothers Funeral Home, in charge of the arrangements. Funeral service for Mrs. Barbara Johnson Blythe, age 82, of Alexander City, will be today at 11 o'clock from the chapel of Radley Funeral Home, Dr. Steve King officiating. Burial in the Hillview Memorial Park. The family receiving friends today, 9 o'clock until 10:30 at the funeral home, Radley Funeral Home in Alexander City, in charge of the arrangements. Funeral service for Loretta White is Saturday, July 23rd, 2 o'clock, from the chapel of Wright's Funeral Home, with interment in the New Life Memorial Gardens. Visitation is today, 5 until 7 at the funeral home, Wright's Funeral Home in Alexander City, in charge of the arrangements. This obituary report this morning, courtesy of Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. For pre-need funerals, burials, and cremation since 1975. That's Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga,